Tunde was not a man of many words. He didn't know how to impress people with big grammar or flashy promises. He wasn't the kind of man you would notice in a crowded room. But if you paid attention, really paid attention, you would see something rare in him. Loyalty, the kind that doesn't speak loudly, but shows itself in quiet sacrifices, the kind that stays, even when it's not convenient. He lived in a modest part of town, in a small one-room apartment with cracked walls and a ceiling fan that only worked when it felt like it. The kind of place people passed by without a second glance. But to Tunde, it was home, because Amara was there. Amara was everything Tunde was not. She was bold, confident, full of dreams that stretched far beyond their environment. Where Tunde saw survival, Amara saw possibility. Where Tunde accepted life as it came, Amara questioned it, and somehow, despite how different they were, they fit. Their love didn't start with luxury or grand gestures. It started with small things: shared meals, late-night conversations, walking side by side under dim streetlights, talking about a future they couldn't yet afford. Amara would often sit by the window at night, staring out into the darkness like she was looking for something that wasn't there. "I don't want to live like this forever, Tunde," she said one night, her voice soft but firm. Tunde looked up from where he was sitting, tired from the day's work, but always attentive when she spoke. "Like what?" he asked. "Struggling, just getting by, watching life happen for other people." He didn't answer immediately, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't know what to say. Amara turned to him, her eyes filled with something deeper than frustration. "I want more, not just for me, for us." That word, us, meant everything to Tunde, and in that moment, he made a silent promise. He didn't know how, he didn't know when, but somehow, he would give her that more she wanted. Days turned into months, and months into years. Life didn't change much. Tunde worked tirelessly, doing whatever jobs he could find. Some days it was construction. Other days it was deliveries. Sometimes he would stand for hours hoping someone would hire him for even the smallest task. Amara, on the other hand, kept pushing herself. She read books, took online courses whenever she could find free ones, spoke about opportunities that seemed too far away to be real. Then one evening, everything changed. She came home with a different kind of energy. Excited, nervous, hopeful. "Tunde," she called, dropping her bag as she walked in. He could tell immediately. Something was different. "What happened?" he asked. "There's a program," she said quickly, almost like she was afraid the words would disappear if she didn't say them fast enough. "A nursing program in London." London. The word hung in the air like something unreal. Tunde blinked. "London." She nodded, her eyes shining. "Yes, it's real. I checked everything. It's legit. If I get in, it could change everything." Tunde's heart started beating faster, not out of excitement, but out of the quiet fear that comes when something feels too big. "How much?" he asked. That was always the real question. Amara hesitated for a second. Then she told him. And just like that, the room felt smaller. The amount wasn't just big, it was impossible. It was more money than Tunde had ever held in his hands, more than he could even imagine having. For a moment, neither of them spoke, because they both knew the truth. This dream was far beyond their reality. Amara looked away, trying to hide the disappointment already creeping into her face. "I know it's a lot," she said quietly. "I just thought, maybe..." She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. Tunde saw it, the hope, the fear, the possibility of something better, slipping away before it even had a chance. And in that moment, something inside him shifted. He didn't see the money. He didn't see the risk. He saw her, and that was enough. "We'll do it," he said. Amara looked at him, confused. "What?" "We'll find a way," he repeated, more firmly this time. But Tunde, the money, I said we'll find a way. There was something in his voice she had never heard before. Not just determination, but certainty. And that certainty gave her hope again. From that day on, Tunde became a different man. Not in personality, but in purpose. He woke up earlier, worked longer, pushed himself harder than ever before. And when that wasn't enough, he made the decision that would change everything. He sold his land. It wasn't just any land. It was the only thing his father left him. A small piece of inheritance that carried memories, history, identity. People warned him. Tunde, think about this. What if this doesn't work out? What if she goes there and forgets you? But Tunde didn't listen, because to him, love wasn't about protecting himself. It was about giving, even when it hurt, even when it cost him everything. The day he finalized the sale, he didn't celebrate. He didn't feel proud. He just felt quiet, like he had let go of a part of himself. But when he handed the money to Amara and saw the tears in her eyes, he knew he would do it all over again. I won't waste this, she said, holding his hands tightly. I promise you, Tunde, I won't waste this. I know, he replied, and he meant it. He trusted her completely. The journey wasn't easy. Application processes, interviews, endless waiting. Every day felt like a test of their patience. But eventually, the email came. She got in. That night, they didn't sleep. Not because they were worried, but because they were dreaming. Dreaming of a life that finally felt within reach. The departure day came faster than expected. At the airport, everything felt heavy. Not just the bags, but the moment. Amara held onto Tunde like she didn't want to let go. I'll make you proud, she whispered. You already have, he replied. He tried to smile, tried to be strong, but as he watched her walk away, a strange feeling settled in his chest. Not regret, not fear, just emptiness. Like something important was leaving and wouldn't come back the same. At first, everything was good. Calls every day, long conversations, laughter, updates about her classes, her new environment, the challenges she faced. Tunde listened to every word like it was a reward for everything he had sacrificed. But slowly, things began to change. The calls became shorter, then less frequent, then irregular. At first, he made excuses for her. She's busy. It's a new environment. She's adjusting. But deep down, he felt it. The distance. Not just physical, but emotional. One night, he called her. No answer. He called again. Still nothing. Hours later, she sent a message. I'm busy. I'll call you later. But she didn't, and that became the pattern. Tunde started to feel like a stranger in his own relationship, like he was holding on to something that was slowly slipping away. Then one day, everything changed. A friend sent him a message. Bro, is this your wife? Attached was a picture. Amara, smiling, standing next to a man, not just standing, close, comfortable, happy, the kind of happy she hadn't sounded in months. Tunde stared at the picture for a long time, hoping, praying. It wasn't what it looked like, but deep down, he knew. That night, he called her again. This time, she answered. Amara, who is that man? Silence. Long, heavy silence. You don't understand, Tunde, she finally said. Then help me understand. I've changed. Those words hit harder than anything else. Changed. After everything? I can't keep living that life, she continued. That life? Yes, the struggle, the limitations. I've seen something different now. Tunde felt his chest tighten. And what about me? He asked. Another silence. You'll always be a part of my past. Past, just like that. Everything he gave, everything he sacrificed. reduced to the past. That was the moment Tunde realized something painful. Love does not guarantee loyalty. Sacrifice does not guarantee appreciation. And sometimes, the person you build your world around is not meant to stay in it. The days that followed were the hardest of his life. Not because he lost money, not because he lost opportunities, but because he lost belief. Belief in love, belief in trust, belief in everything he thought was certain. But slowly, something began to change. Not around him, but within him. He started rebuilding, not for anyone else, but for himself, and for the first time in a long time. Tunde realized something important. He had spent his entire life trying to create a future for someone else, and forgot to create one for himself. And this time, he wasn't going to make that mistake again. Because sometimes, the greatest loss is also the beginning of something new.